All right. The lead is brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports. If you are looking for the original motorcycle, talking about the Indian motorcycle, you can find it. Not at the Cup, but where the Cup says you can find it. Grand Prix Motorsports off of Santa Fe and County Line Road. How do your brackets look, guys?
Does anybody's look good at this point? I mean, what classifies as good? I mean, I think everybody's is a mess. So if you got 3 out of your 4 Final Four teams left, does that classify as good?
I was talking to my friend.
If so, I'm in.
I was talking to my friend Nate Gatter. He goes. I picked the right number.
You are such a name dropper.
I
Nate
just
Gatter.
name dropped Nate Gatter. I just.
Nate
I don't know. You dropped the name though. Must be big.
He's a great guy. He said he picked the right number of upsets, just not the right upsets, and I think that happens every year for all of us.
Yeah, that's why you try and go chalk, or I go chalk, because if you're trying to be a hero,
Yep.
you're not going to guess right. Just like, I mean, Nate Gatter couldn't do it. So
Yeah.
I mean, who else is going to be a hero?
That's a very good point.
So,
That's a very good
but
point.
you know, I think everybody's a mess to some extent at this point.
Yeah.
You get that many upsets, it's hard to have a bracket that looks good after the first 2 rounds.
As a Missouri alum, my favorite team is Missouri. My second favorite team is whoever plays Kansas.
Right.
I saw that tweet yesterday.
Yeah,
very appropriate.
Thank you, and classy too, right? The only thing was that I had picked Kansas to lose in the first round. So
Did you really?
I hate Kansas.
Why would you do that?
Well, because
yourself.
they either go to the championship game or they lose before the Sweet 16.
But they don't lose in
State-
the opening round.
I know.
Wichita State getting their shot, though, you could just kind of see that one coming.
Yeah.
Kansas won't schedule them. They're waiting for that. They're just kind of lying in wait for it. So you could see that upset coming, which I'm sure didn't break any Mizzou fans' heart.
Well said.
I mean, I went to Indiana, and
Yeah.
I picked Wichita State over my team because I didn't think Indiana would win.
Wow. Okay, you're just kind of
Indiana
winning the
gave them a
bracket.
much better game than KU did, though.
No question
They
about
came
it.
down to the wire.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. But here's the interesting thing about the tournament. For as much as we want to talk about Thursday, in which there were these gaggle of upsets, as we head into the second full weekend, okay, 15 of the 16 teams from the Power 6 conferences and Gonzaga. It played out exactly
It's incredible.
how people thought it would play out.
Well, and I think that makes for a better Sweet 16, though. As much as we like the upsets,
Right.
it's not necessarily a good second weekend if there are a bunch of 14s and 13s and 12s playing.
Yeah.
So it sets up for better games. You know, you get UAB to win in the first round, but then get them out of there before the second weekend. That's probably better for everyone.
I just like it when there's one team we've never heard of, that's in there. Like it was 2 years ago, Dunk City. I don't remember the name of the school. Florida South? Is that the school? Florida South University?
Florida Gulf Coast, maybe?
Yeah. Florida Gulf Coast University. They were in it, and we're all rooting for them, even though we knew they didn't have a chance.
Well, what about Butler? They went back-to-back years, didn't they?
They had the greatest coach. He's the best coach, one of the best coaches in college history. Brad Stevens.
So you don't want to see underdogs.
I like
move
seeing them
along.
in the first round. I just think it tends to set up to where you're going to get Sweet 16 games that turn into blowouts, because very rarely does that continue. I mean, George Mason is the aberration.
Right.
Butler to some extent was the aberration. So I think that ultimately as you move on to have better and better games, you need to have teams from the power conferences.
So, if I may, George Mason going to the Final Four is like Danilo Gallinari scoring 40 points in a game.
It could happen again, but maybe not until next March.
Aberration.
Sticking with your prediction.
Yeah.
Did you have in your bracket Virginia and or Villanova getting knocked out?
Not in the opening weekend. No. You trust the committee. I think a lot of us look at those numbers and I picked all the 12s to beat all the 5s.
Right.
There's always a few of those. But then I was like, you know what? If they're a 2 seed and their coach is so lauded, this Tony Bennett guy. He's one of my favorite singers too.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is good. Old.
If
but good.
the show gets a little slow later, I'll sing a little Bennett.
Will you really?
Yeah, I'll croon a little Bennett.
What kind of motivation to make it go slow?
Or to make it go fast and sharp, and so I don't sing.
You know what? I have an idea right now.
What's that?
Since I'm, kind of in control of this rundown, let's just hit the brakes right now and give us 30 seconds. And we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere until you sing, 15 seconds and go.
I left my heart in San Francisco. I don't know how it goes, actually. I was lying the whole time. I don't know any better. I just know the name of the song is I Left My Heart in San Francisco.
All right, that segment was brought to you by Grand Prix Motorsports.
Sorry, Grand Prix Motorsports.
I was about to say, good Lord.
Hey!
There's our
Hey!
buddy Jim Zazinski. He almost fell off his bike listening to you sing. He, of course, got his Indian motorcycle, the original motorcycle, over at Grand Prix. That's his 2014 Indian Chieftain Grand Prix Motorsports, located right off of County Line Road and Santa Fe.